Hello beautiful people and welcome to the channel A Life After Narc. My name's Debbie and I talk about all things to do with narcissistic, abusive and toxic relationships, as well as looking at healing from them. I hope you're all doing well. Pop a comment below, let me know how you're doing. Today's video, Narcissism and Misogyny, Why Women Don't Report Rape and Sexual Abuse. Now, I'm looking at this from the perspective of a very big news story that broke in the papers here in the UK yesterday on Sunday. And I know I have a lot of viewers from the United States, from Canada, from India and other countries around the world. So you may not know who this person is, or you may not have heard of them. You may not have seen or heard the documentary that broke this story. The story was broken by Channel 4 and The Times here in the UK. Channel 4 do a program called Despatches, which is a documentary program, and they discuss all sorts of topics that are pertinent to the times. So this comedian by the name of Russell Brand has allegedly been accused of sexual abuse and rape by a number of women. And it is, I've heard this morning that the Metropolitan Police here in London, have started investigating these allegations and have asked women who have been sexually abused or raped, alleged rape and sexual abuse by Russell Brand, to come forwards. So I wanted to talk a little bit about this story and about why women don't come forwards and report rape and sexual abuse to the police. And I'm sure many of you who are watching who have gone through this kind of abuse will understand why we don't report it to the police. So in a nutshell, I'm going to try and précis the story as much as I can. Some women came forward. They were in Channel 4 Despatches and The Times were investigating these allegations of rape and sexual abuse. Excuse me. And some women came forwards and told their stories. Now, I'm going to pop a link to the Despatches report in the comments section below, in the description box below. So if you want to see that video, please click on it. I will advise you if you are sensitive, trigger warning in there watching it. I watched it and to be fair, it was exactly what I expected. So Russell Brand started his career off, I believe, on the Disney Channel here in the UK, and then went on to host Big Brother. Some Big Brother program that came after Big Brother, some Big Brother Rooms or Talk or something. I can't remember the name. I never watched Big Brother, so I couldn't honestly tell you what this program was. And then he went on to become a comedian. Now he is known worldwide. He's also an actor. He has acted in a couple of movies that were filmed in Hollywood. And he also was a celebrity on the radio. He hosted a radio show here in the UK. He's still, I believe, doing comedy circuits. I know that he did one, I think, last night. And a lot of people are supporting him, and a lot of people who are right-wing and conspiracy theorists are supporting him. He was a drug addict, and he did go into rehab, and he was also a self-professed sex addict. So these are widely known facts that have been out there in the media for years. Excuse me, got a bit of a frog in my throat today. And he has recently gone on to, this is around the time of COVID when we were all at home. He started a YouTube channel and he talks about not taking the vaccine. He's an anti-vaxxer. He is anti all sorts of things, and you can watch that video there. The one thing that does disturb me is that he has become a yoga instructor, and he was hosting yoga workshops around the world with many yogis and yoginis, and there were some other famous people with him as well. I cannot tell you their names. I do not know. I doubt very much that they are associated with this and with his behavior. But I always thought to myself, I used to watch his videos, and I always thought to myself, how can he be this person who has done all of these things and then become a yoga instructor? I'm a yoga instructor, okay? I'm not saying that I haven't dabbled in drugs or alcohol. I am not saying that I put myself as a yogi anymore. I don't. I retired from teaching yoga a few years ago now. But yoga is it's not just an exercise, okay? It's not just doing poses. There are many, many aspects to yoga. And any yoga teacher or yogini who is on here will know and understand that there are many aspects. There are 8 wheels of yoga, basically, and these include things such as meditation and cleansing and all various sort of things that we look at. And one of them is to do with being a good person. So my thoughts were that how can this man teach yoga when he's actually more of a cult leader? And he does have a cult following. He does spout a lot of beliefs in his life of who he follows and what he does. And I'm not going to mention names because I don't think that's fair on those people. They probably were not aware of his behavior or aware of what was happening. But the people that were aware of his behavior and what were happening were the people that he was working for. The people that have come forward with these allegations are young women, or were young women at the time, who were runners. So they would go and do things that he would ask for, such as going to the shop and buying him a drink, or getting an outfit for him for his show, or whatever a runner does. But some of these women said that as a runner, they felt like they were pimps because they would actually, he would say he wants to see this woman in his dressing room after the show and to give that person a note. And so the runner would go and give that person a note. And these women weren't able to say no. They were young. They were impressionable. They just got a job. They were like, okay, well, this is what happens in the industry. But, however, he was abusive with some of them. And the allegations of rape and sexual abuse that have come through, you'll see in the Despatches video that I'll link below, stem from things such as touching, inappropriate comments, through to rape. And one of the women said she was actually an ex-girlfriend of his. And he called her one evening and asked her to come round. He needed help. He was upset. He needed somebody to talk to. And she said when she got there that he promptly told her that he had somebody else in the bedroom and he wanted her to join them. And she said, no, that's not my thing. I'm not doing that. And then he proceeded to rape her. And again, this is alleged. This is not actual fact. As I say, the Met Police are investigating this right now, so hopefully this will be taken further. But, guys, we know how many people who are stars, who are famous, get away with this behavior. This man is a narcissist. It's plain to see. If you watch his work and watch his videos, you will see that he is a full-blown, grandiose narcissist. And I would also suspect a malignant narcissist, in fact, possibly moving into the Machiavellian region of the dark triad. He, he's grandiose. His jokes, his comedy shows are all to do with sex and sexual acts. And so he's made it very clear that he is a sex addict, and some of his comedy is very risque. In fact, more than risque. And And in the Despatches video, you will see some of what he says in his shows. And I believe that this kind of behavior from somebody who is famous, who's well known, who's popular, encourages other people to behave the same, other men. Now, I'm not saying, and I just want to say that I have a lot of male viewers now, so thank you very much for watching. And I want to say that yes, women can do this as well. So I'm not disputing that fact. However, the statistics show us that more women are abused than men. It's much bigger within the female anatomy that women are sexually abused. And he had this habit of walking around in his white Y-front underwear. He liked to be naked. He, as I say, was very risque in his comedy, and he plays the fool. And yet people believe him because he's narcissistic, because he has that charisma that most narcissists have, most grandiose narcissists have anyway. This was all covered up by the people that he was working for. These women felt that they could not report this abuse to them, to their work bosses or to the police, because they would either lose their jobs or they would be told that it wasn't real, it wasn't happening, or even worse, they asked for it. I hate that, because no woman asks for it. And this woman that he allegedly raped in his flat or apartment or townhouse or wherever he lives had said no several times, and she told him to stop. Guys, no means no. If a woman says no, she does not want to have sexual relations with you, she does not want to have sexual relations with you, even if it's your wife or girlfriend. That day, she may be feeling that she doesn't want that kind of interaction with you. And men need to learn to accept that and to respect that. Now, I'm not saying again that all men do this behavior, and I believe that the vast majority of men are not like that. But what I will ask those men out there who are wonderful men, loving men, caring men, who understand the words no, who would never think of doing something like this, to teach those around you who perhaps do those kind of things. It's all about teaching our sons a way to behave around women, that misogyny, sexual misconduct, patriarchy is not okay. It is illegal. Now, some of you may have heard of a man called Jimmy Savile, who is no longer with us. And it was found after his death that he was a child molester. And we call them nonces here in the UK. I don't know if you use that around the world, but a nonce is a child abuser. And in one radio interview that he was doing, Russell Brand was doing with Jimmy Savile, I cannot remember the exact words, but again, please check the video in the description box below. He spoke to Jimmy Savile on the phone and said that he would bring some girls with him to see Jimmy Savile. And Jimmy Savile said, make sure they're young girls. And Jimmy Savile had a penchant for young women, young girls, children, underage. Jimmy Savile used to have a show here in the UK called Jim'll Fix It. And I always wanted to go on that show because I wanted to meet Adam and the Ant. That was my thing at the time. And I'm pretty glad now that that never happened, because I could have been one of those statistics. But if Russell Brand was discussing these things over the phone, live on radio with Jimmy Savile, about bringing young women to see him, who are we to believe? Who are we to believe? I do believe that misogyny has a big role to play in narcissistic behavior around men. And it's systemic misogyny. It comes from centuries of men treating women like dirt, having their way with them, and blaming women for them raping women. You know, that just happens, doesn't it? We all know that this is why women don't report rape or sexual abuse, because you go to the police say, well, you know, give me your phone. We want to check your phone. So all of your messages, your WhatsApp messages, and this might be a person that you met online and that you went to meet and they tried to rape you or did rape you. And so there may well have been sexual innuendo messages between you and the perpetrator. But it's not your fault. If you are raped or sexually abused, it is not your fault. It doesn't matter what you're wearing. It doesn't matter if you're intoxicated. It doesn't matter where you are or if you're out late at night. Rape and sexual abuse by men is wrong and needs to be stopped. And again, as I say, this means that all men need to step forward and teach their children the truth, that women should not be treated like this. If a woman says no, she means no. So I will leave you to make up your own minds about Russell Brand and the allegations against him. My view, yeah, probably guilty. My view, I hope this goes to court. I hope that he goes to prison if he's found guilty. And I hope that justice is done for these women who experience this aberrant behavior by this man. So I wanted to talk about this today because it's very important to me that women are empowered and are able to stand up for themselves and speak out when and if they are sexually abused or raped. It is wrong. And I know many of us don't want to go to the police. And this man, Russell Brand, had his enablers around him. The people that he was working for knew about this behavior. They knew. And yet they did nothing. They knew and they did nothing. Our children are learning from these people. Our children are learning from these people such as Russell Brand, Andrew Tate, Lawrence Fox, all of these men who think that women are there to be subservient to the man, that are less than a man, that we are property of the man. We're not. We certainly are not. The statistics of rape being, a rapist being sent down, we call it sent down here in the UK, sent to prison, sent to jail, is low. It's about 2% of rape cases that go before the court are found guilty. It takes about 2 years for a case to get to court. And so another reason women don't report this kind of behavior is because they don't want to relive this. They don't want to talk about this 2 years down the line. They don't want to discuss it in front of other people. The fear that they have of their perpetrators is terrifying. I know from my own experience that I suffered with extreme hypervigilance after my narcissistic ex left me. I still do to some degree. I still make sure my doors are locked. I still make sure I'm protected when I go out. And that is from years of abuse. So I ask you to form your own opinions. Put comments in the comments section below. I'd love to see what you think, what you've experienced. If you have been sexually abused or even raped, it would be interesting to hear from you and how you coped with it. I will be doing videos in the future where I talk about my incidents that I've experienced and hopefully the healing techniques that I have used will help you. But if you've been raped, if you've been sexually abused, please, please, please come forward, go to the police. Don't let this person repeat their offence. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe to the video if you haven't already. I hope to see you next time. Blessed be.